gotten that much better, right? During the split, that Loud is now having everyone catch up to them. Start with Loud on attack. A quick clear out. The crowd is ready. Thieves are going to play a retake on B here. They set up for a nice stack towards that mid area. I'll be happy to let Loud in and see what they can do. Thieves having a decent retake percentage. Let's see if they can make it work here on Loud.
We definitely want to have a strong start now on the defensive side. As first contact is going to be saadhak just by the switch with some support towards the staircase. Plan is going to go down at the default, but the first blood still comes in for the 100 Thieves.
Still formulating, waiting for everybody to come over from B. Slow rotations in. Paranoia is there for the retake.
Blocking off a bit of that vision. Cryocells. Right now, tip of the spear, trying to come back into the site. And look at the positioning of these under defenders. Beautiful paranoia to try to clear out for the site, and even a recon dart from Derrek to clear out 2 players inside. Now there's only 1 left on that lurk. It's less than a 4 versus 1. Cryocells already on the defuse. A 1v1 against Bang on the staircase as Les has to move in, but it's too little too late. 100 Thieves start off very strong on this map.
Fantastic patience to wait for the smoke, smoking off priority zones, and they take 2 and 2 on lane and stairs to make that look clean. Even with the comp switch here, 100 Thieves going away from the Viper, as they said. They've always been a team to mix things up, right? We have Split and Haven coming up, and they have the Cypher Sage, and on Haven, the Gecko even maybe. But, you know, it's good to see.
If it goes to a third map, yeah.
Yeah, if it goes to the third. So good to see 100 Thieves there, still being able to flex, but bring out the strong start to the game. Let's see if they can get all the way through the bonus this time. They've had trouble doing that for sure. And we'll see the defense being set up more default here. So let's focus on Loud. You already have your market, or your wine 0 point going out, and that's great knowledge to get already on 2.
Here are the adjustments. Crowd once again, the first blood into the round against saadhak. So that's 1 initiator down. All of Loud still we're trying to work the map a little bit slowly, but you saw the adjustments from 100 Thieves when they were hit by that 0 point in wine. Double swing out for the support.
Exactly, pretty aggressive to go on an eco round like this. 100 Thieves having a little bit of a buy here. And they still want to push up. They still want to meet Loud first. This gives them the idea Loud could be flexing over towards B. So we see that now. 2 in sight for 100 Thieves here to block this off. And they've moved the Killjoy utility from round 1 to round 2 to the right spot now.
And that's the changes from the Thieves too, bringing out this Killjoy, placing the alarm bot more passively to get that early information. Now with the recon dart to come out to ping Derrek, forcing him back towards the back of the site. Cryocells meanwhile falls as Aspas is going to push towards the spawn.
Oh, the pings.
Recon dart, to retaliate. As that's going to get Stellar ready for 2 kills.
6 bullets.
cauanzin looking for the trade, but he still gets picked off. Finally Aspas to the rescue. But it's just going to be him by himself, planning inside the smoke.
I mean, this is still possible with the Sheriff.
Wait, he got off it.
Great delay.
After he got hit by the paranoia, now the high-low on the staircase for 100 Thieves. The jiggle peek to spot the first one. Now on the high-low, both of them are there at the staircase. Noel will bank for the kill.
10 seconds
Dancing,
left.
bobbing, and weaving as he makes it out. That gets greeted by the Phantom of Asuna as they convert into this bonus round.
And they deny the plant. The extra money from getting into the hands of Loud, which is very important. This is a team that loves to get to the operator. They're very good on their full buy round. So if you can prevent any of that from happening slightly, Kai, you are in a better position. 100 Thieves now getting ready to stave this off. Let's see if they can grab this bonus. Odin already for cauanzin here. And they're going to look to start tearing through some of these walls to get that early chip damage down onto 100 Thieves. The setup is to push Cat possibly a little bit. The smoke to come out in mid. See how they set up. And a little B main coverage for this orb if they want to grab it in the end. Good control though. Just getting a little bit more info before Loud can make their first move, which all 5 are stacked towards this side.
You see the play of Stellar trying to play close with the Stinger off the ping of the turret. There's a swing out, but unfortunately gets stopped by saadhak. Odin, as I heard that coming out from cauanzin on the attack. Al Joan to try to clear it out. Now actually does not get the ping, but at least Derrek got spotted, and finally at the last second. Under heavy attack, taken down as Loud swarm into this B site for the plant.
Asuna weapon. Plant's back in the open. You still have Les here hanging out. He's gonna make little to no noise until he has to.
This paranoia was important, but Les was already waiting at the B main.
Exactly.
Bonus round that does do a little bit of damage. Almost got the third one onto less. But Loud are able to answer back in their buy round.
Playing it slow, not even getting too much information on 100 Thieves that round. They did have the 0 point go out, and then with the amount of time passed at that point, anything could have happened. Yeah, you do see 100 Thieves have yet to secure this map for themselves here in VCT Americas. Good start so far. See if they can get this one round back after they did lose the bonus. We'll focus on now an A hit with mid and tiles being covered up by Loud here. So they're looking to make sure 100 Thieves does not push around the map. They don't want to give up any of this space for free. That's going to be Les's job here towards the mid side, and see if he meets up with Cryo anytime soon. So just a lot of noise. A little bit of ruckus, a little bit of overgrab. And Loud are going to back off here. I think they're very happy to do this. Like we said, the buy rounds are super strong for Loud because they take their time, because they source their opponent and what's happening on every side of the map. This is now just going to be Cryo alone. He did have the Sova before, but it does not matter, Vans.
And that's a small difference that we see from Cryocells today, playing a little bit more aggressively into these off angles. That's not being cleared by Loud. So it guarantees now a first blood into the round as he got the backstab kill onto a key player that he has to focus against. And that's the head-to-head against Aspas.
They're going to see mid here. Yeah, Derrek doing a well check. Back in mid. And the mid hit. Let's see if this is going to be that Stellar that's ready inside B. You can see the spike waiting with cauanzin right now to come in through that utility. 100 Loud has the numbers if they push this way, but they're going to have 100 Thieves hot on their heels.
Loud has to put a lot of pressure coming out through the doorway because the spike's by himself towards B main. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock for Loud to act. And as we take care of the alarm clock, Stellar gets 2 kills as he focuses towards the lane. Hat-trick into the round.
Nicely done. It's from last round to this round, 100 Thieves realizes how much time Loud is going to take and wait for that contact play then, right? Cryo found contact play in mid. That wasn't a take, that wasn't a util. It's very telling in how Loud wants to take this space right now, and 100 Thieves adjust in one round. Still could be very back and forth. Blade Storm ready for Aspas here, as there'll be a bit of a money save round, seeing just a shorty. Stingers around with some sheriffs. Following the 0 points just at the early part of this. Actually towards Cat instead of Wine this time.
And Aspas pulled out his knives when, fortunately, Cryocells pulled out his at the end of the round, but it doesn't matter. Still gets another first blood into the round. Third one so far into the game, making that about a 5 HP left. But Aspas is still looking for that space, being cleared by the paranoia. Counter paranoia, but it doesn't hit him. Flying across the map on the A side, gets a double kill now. A flash into the smoke. Asuna gets a blinded kill. Back to a 3 versus 3, but Loud is looking for this plant out towards A main. Fighting back now for information. Aldron does get the ping, now forcing Aspas away. And thanks to all these kills from Stellar, he has that lockdown into the Cat. So that pushes everybody from Loud out towards Wine. And it's time for 100 Thieves to move into the A site. Flash in a turret, forcing Aspas away once again. A recon dart just to keep them back.
No utility.
Cauanzin though, going for trades. It's still the advantage for Loud. What? Up to Derrek somehow with only 21 HP. The jump spot coming out from Aspas. The recon dart, the shot. And now you could just play the clock, the time here for Loud. And it looks to be a sealed fate.
Oh.
The patience. And now the virtue of Loud as they're able to fight back with the lower buy.
The full push. A little disjointed when they went for that on the A main control towards Wine. Loud's just able to line him up, take him down, and then play cat and mouse at the end there with the spike. What? That was just like cinematic from Aspas. Up and over the paranoia and then gets the blades through. You gotta be kidding me. Doing no wrong that round. Aspas brings it back for the team. And we said that Blade Storm was going to be very, very important. And it took out and made way for Loud to get into A site. Again, a little bit of that love towards A. They may just keep focusing this orb here. If they can get Aspas to do things like that, and he starts a little bit of the hero aura for this game to make an impact. B is going to be pushed once again. 100 Thieves continue this main control, Vans. They need to get a little information if Loud's going to be able to execute rounds like we just saw. Because it's very hard to react to something like that.
They got that info early. Asuna actually just 0 point in toward A main. Hit all 3 of them. And now saadhak's already popping it towards A main. There's that dash in, the hero aura that you mentioned, and just support around the cast. The alert from Les. for the first blood and the advantage for Loud as they move into the A site. 100 Thieves are looking to focus towards mid while aspas continues to push forward towards heaven.
Bot coming back.
Look at them towards middle for 100 Thieves. They're trying to find less.
Very hard to do since he keeps himself quiet.
The shoulder peak though. Now the delay. Beautiful job as the rest of Loud can now focus in the A site. Hunter's Fury on the attack. Does get the ping onto one. But Star dodges the other. Les, meanwhile, getting his own fight on that 2v1 out towards spawn, and there you go. All that delay was perfect for Loud. They're going to tie up this game as the rest of 100 Thieves are going to have to fall back into the B site and save these 3 weapons, these 3 rifles into the next.
That's just ridiculous from Les. To be able to stop 2 members of 100 Thieves right there in their tracks and still really have no decision to get to the site because the spike was ticking down, because everything else that would have needed to happen to get in. They get away with murder on that one, and 100 Thieves are going to have to save.
Oh!
Not as much as they wanted to.
That hurts.
Yeah, very quick shot there to take him down. Les comes up with another one.
And especially with another player falling down, also not able to save his weapon, and that's probably one of these rounds where that Blade Storm could have been very important for Cryocells moving here, because you're going to see a very low buy, a pause already being called by Mike's HD to see how they could play with this lower buy. Because seems as Loud, they will get it much earlier than just the first map losses that we've seen in the past few weeks.
Yeah, it does seem like they're taking a little bit more control of the map, other than losing 2 or 3 to what seems like just disjointed utility. Moving together, we've actually seen Loud in a lot of these rounds go for a 3 or a 4 stack somewhere, and then just allow Les to be the only one. For a moment, tuyz will have a bit of a roam, and then he joins the team. But that's easy because he's on smoke. So, yeah, cauanzin, I don't know. He's had this Odin forever. Easy style of play they want to keep going for. He can just spam in the back. As soon as he hits the dart, aspas is in with a hail of Odin bullets over his shoulder and recon on what he needs to hit in the site. It's almost too hard to defend here. We saw last round 100 Thieves playing towards B, which I thought was pretty interesting with that null command up. So they're choosing either give up A or meet that null command head on as it starts to hit B. Imagine if that would have happened. So we see the kind of style 100 Thieves wants to play, they'll be aggressive, but Loud's been choosing the other side so far.
Let's go.
Continuing to get those rounds back on a few of these mid plays on the rotations where Les is really able to have an impact. Again, a little bit of a roam, and this time it's going to come from saadhak to get a good knife in, and then he joins the team, leaving Les to his own devices. More mid pressure, though, from 100 Thieves this time.
Exactly. They didn't decided not to go for the SMG buys around the rifles that were saved before, so playing more aggressive, playing tight-knit, looking for instant trades.
Yeah. Pretty weird buy for 100 Thieves here, as they're kind of sorting their money about.
Okay to give up a few rounds on their defense. Cut their losses. Maximize the position.
That's a shot.
And they're able to do that. Derrek with a nice shot on the Guardian. That's one weapon picked up and an opportunity for a flood retake for 100 Thieves. Cauanzin, though, waiting at the bottom of hell with this Odin. Support on the top with aspas.
Another?
Answers back. Yeah, that's another to fall towards the A site. Stella with the second one into the round. And these rifles are coming to work after all, but not until tuyz has something else to say. And that danger coming in. No kills from the shorty. A 2 versus 1 as the clock is ticking down. But Stellar falls, and now there's no time left. Asuna, saving grace, at least gets that kill onto tuyz. But we'll have to fall back, and can he save the weapon at least?
That's not going to be it. No!
It was close.
It was
Almost
real close. Just need to grease up those robot legs a little bit. So close to getting a 4-3 now. Loud again route themselves around where 100 Thieves is. A lot of pressure towards mid. They go straight in, diving towards generator with aspas again. Asuna there on the final kill, but there was not enough time. So the timeout thwarted there by Loud. They're able to keep their momentum going a little bit. And now it's the operator for Cryo. We've been waiting to see one come out. That's going to be reaching deep into the pockets here. Cryo's had a pretty good game so far, so he should feel on to hit these shots. Supported right now by Asuna on cap to start off, but they're going to be semi-identified by these 0 points coming out.
And quick thinking there for the Thieves off that timeout. Not buying around the rifles that were saved before allows for them to get small shields and weapon into this round. Another saving grace too is that they dropped everybody from Loud on that previous, trying to keep that econ low on the attack.
Good point. Any way you can take away from Loud in a game is a good thing.
There's that jiggle peek though. Crowd did see the first contact being aspas, so that's going to be the call potentially for an early rotate, but it's just going to be 100 Thieves readjusting towards the A site. Derrek looking for info with the recon dart, gets shot off. So now an indication of a possible split into the B site. And we're just playing the guessing game for the Thieves.
Straight up towards mid. Maybe looking for alarm bot utility, but they didn't like it. They go for the re-hit.
Up drop to actually break the crosshair placement.
Oh, yeah, broken.
Aspas still gets the kill. Cryocells on the top of heaven. That's one op shot. Jiggle peek coming out. The tip of that Odin, a TP into the smoke. The triple peek through. But Crowd still gets the kill.
That's a lot of targets there. He chose the right one. See if they can keep this going Loud with the lockdown. They're going to get some room, but Derrek says no.
Shock dart kill. Close range. Wow. Connection up to less. A 3 versus 1, and you can play it safe for sure. Because tuyz still has to move in and grab this break and get the plant. Wasted a lot of time with that. So a double push coming up from heaven. A recon dart, the spray. And even coming in from A main, an easy one. A 4K for Cryocells into this round. And this is a beast that's looking to roar in this series.
And they look to take that op away from the position, right? Right when they saw Cryo, they ran away, went towards mid, they come back, and Cryo still makes it work in the tight situations. That's when you're almost worried you have an op, when you got to play a little bit of retake, you got to play against people rushing you. Nah, calm, cool, collected, 11-5 right now with that Bladestorm back online.
Yeah.
Cryo, and questions being answered there, asked of him, I should say. If he could be that one on top now that he can get focused on the duelist and hit his work. And Aspas is going to be that versus for him today. And I cannot wait to see this full series. 4-4 now as we get into round 9. 100 Thieves should be able to string these together, Vans. They have the ultimates. Cryo on an early peak again. Doesn't even move off the 0 point. And he hits the jump from cauanzin.
Cryocells is doing his work so far. Making it hard for Loud to get any of that early space unless they want to go for these hard execs where Aspas is always going to try to lead the charge. Let's look for the timing. Nice ADS shot onto Asuna though. That's how you quickly answer back.
Letting the map breathe for a second. Is Cryo still trying to get these little peaks out? And Loud has been favoring A. It has to be noted at this point. Quick from the shadows intel grab.
It's up to Bang here.
Dash
now
in.
with the cloud burst. Big flash to push him away. But Derrek is already there. He already rotated across because Bang did get a TP for info first, and the wall Bang comes in. Spike down as Aspas gets killed. Player advantage coming out for 100 Thieves. 33 seconds left on the clock as they close the door on the attack to try to get a safe plant. Again, same spot for A main, where Loud has found a bit of success here on the post plant. 3 players of the Thieves all moving towards heavens. Big flash and a peek from Les to get the third in a round. Now with the Odin from saadhak spraying on the top of heaven too. The peek coming out from Stellar, and unfortunately it's all up to Derrek. Still manages for at least 1 kill though before it gets dropped. And that's Loud now coming in a lead on their attack half of Ascent, 5-4.
Wow. Loud being able to weather these storms even after losing members of the team is really impressive. Cryo 4-0 on his first kills here, absolutely leading the team. And when he can't get more than that, I guess, it falls apart a little bit. And Loud is running the same strat over and over again. I don't think it's possible that they continue to get in A and win those rounds. It's just the standard flash, or I'm sorry, dart and dash coming in from their team. Now they go towards B though, so they will decide to switch it up, add a little flavor to this, and maybe it's just aspas dash to switch now.
The big piece of detail is this right here, that judge from Asuna that gets denied right away. Nice little shot from Stellar, and the Bladestorm for Cryo up in the air. Up and down he goes indeed. And Derrek with the Sheriff in the back of the site. Playing it slow. The flash, the anti-flash to come out. But Loud gain control of the B site. Derrek trying to isolate 1v1s. Nice paranoia from Bang. Gets the wall Bang on top of that. That's a 1v1, low HP on Bang. tuyz has the positioning.
Ooh.
Spike is down, then the wall Bang, the shoulder peek. And then tuyz comes back. Almost a 50 round coming in for the Thieves. But it's still stolen away by Loud.
Ready.
Loud finally gained a bit of ground here once again. See, they're really the only ones. We're getting 3, losing 1, getting 2. 100 Thieves actually having a pretty rough defense. Aren't doing too bad for themselves right now. But being a defensive-sided map, they hope to get more for sure. So we'll see lockdown and null command ready. Let's see if Loud has to do anything with tuyz ultimate on this. Regular 4-1 split. They're finally putting alarm bots mid, switching up the Killjoy utility now, actually. So Stellar's going to start playing tree with kill utility onto that area. So a big change up, expecting Loud to go back to their standard strat.
Because he has that lockdown to work with. Now Wine. Looks like Asuna wants to let himself get tagged by the Owl Jones, so that bank can try to move forward off the null command being held on the defense.
They're running right for Stellar.
And the lockdown was used on the top, and saadhak somehow moves in and still kills him. Now the lockdown got destroyed, but also saadhak gets destroyed by Cryocells upshot.
Wow.
Dash activated. Cloudburst on the top. But now we're flipping the map over.
That's done.
We get a nice timing from Les. He has his own lockdown now. Plan coming down here for Loud. As for 100 Thieves, it's been a tough retake game so far in this first half. 2-8 so far. So looking to at least make it 3-9. But aspas is looking to deny that right away with the wall bang onto Asuna as well. And that is going to be history that continues to repeat in this half. Another post-plant win for Loud.
Yeah.
Last round in the half.
The post-plants, getting into that is a little tough for 100 Thieves, and the retake's not able to be coming back online anyway either. So a lot of the things that it can sometimes lean back on in those are falling to the wayside. Loud finding success. 5 ultimates online for the last round. This would be a huge one for 100 Thieves to pick up anyways. So 7-5 would be a great scoreline that they could get to their attack side with. And again, this is 100 Thieves taking that Viper out, switching back to the standard descent comp that we've been seeing, and it's just right towards A.
Oh yeah. You talked about the ultimates all being used right away. Maybe to try to gain space towards the A side and then use the lockdown in there after. But Thieves are doing a good job so far to hold back, hold their ground, until aspas comes in once again with the dash, the draft.
You should run.
And the first blood into the round. And there's that lockdown being moved towards the Jenny. Thankfully, we picked up the orb on the defense so we could actually cancel that ult. But it misses. So lockdown's gonna go out.
What a
cauanzin
spot.
already has alert towards min. Asuna is pinned. And a 5 versus 3. Also looking for the hero play. Another flash. The timing on that, but aspas still gets the kill with the knives. Cryocells now is about to get pinged.
Standing.
And with that, it's all up to Derrek. Nice little shot. Ooh, that's gonna be it. Loud blows the first half 8-4.
That was the 5 ult surprise coming in there. Definitely going to be a tough one. A great start for 100 Thieves, but a better start for Loud, and that's what we've been asking of them.
So with that, let's toss it back to GB and Eminem to break down the first half here of Loud and 100 Thieves on Ascent.
Thank you so much, Mansili and Riv. And, well, you know, credit to 100 Thieves, definitely keeping this one close. You would have liked to see them get a few more rounds on that half, but Mo, just the way that Loud, every single time you think that they're out of the round, that they might lose it, they find a way. It's incredible to watch.
Every time. It's so consistent, and it's heartbreaking if you're watching as a 100 Thieves fan. You're like, man, like this round, they sniff out the lurk. It's looking great so far. They quietly sniff him out. We get this kill in Stellar, and then everything goes wrong. After this kill, you think it's gonna go great. It's a 2v5, and they just weren't able to trade out and execute the rest of the round. And there's also an attack Odin in hell, and that's something you almost never expect.
And that's exactly what we were seeing from that quote from Bang, where it was the little things that lost him the match against NRG. And here again, the game plan is sound. 100 Thieves have shown us good ideas. I think their reactions, even when Loud has been doing weirder things, like trying to flip the map on them, have been good. But they're still having these little moments where the coordination isn't quite there. And someone like aspas or Les will take advantage of that one and still win out these rounds.
Yeah, and take advantage of it they have, right? Multiple times now. But what has been quite fascinating to see take place has been, you know, again, it's Mimi's favorite subject. It's a jet comparison. Aspas and Cryo here. But it is wild that aspas, not really involved much in the beginning of the game, pops knives, changes the entire complexion of the map. It's like aspas is just so impactful.
He's so consistent, and we were talking about the fact that he started slow in some of these series, been the guy to have to bring them back. That wasn't the case here. He's been consistently good, but it's been the same thing as well for Loud, where they've come out, or for 100 Thieves, I mean, where Cryo has been fantastic from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to see Cryo step up to the challenge of taking on the colossus that is aspas. But the job is not done for 100 Thieves. Let's send it back over to the casters.
Thank you so much to the analyst desk, Riv. Indeed, this is going to be continuing to be a tough feat for 100 Thieves on the attack, as now they had to deal with aspas, potentially with the operator on defense, cauanzin with an Odin on defense.
It is wild, right? It's you know aspas is going to play Jet. You know eventually he's going to get an op. Pretty scary stuff.
And unfortunately, just to summarize what's happening so far, the question mark around the Ares on the second round, unfortunately, we had to move over and play that pistol round, and it looks like it was in the victors of Loud.
Okay.
So we have 100 Thieves on an eco into this round here. Looking to at least get a little bit of this orb control. Split on both sides. Cryo on one end on B site. With support from Stellar.
I just thought they had a good accountant.
I was gonna say.
Shots towards B here last. So they figured out where the Killjoy utility might be, but it's a nice delay of that on mid too. So less keeping everything active as 100 Thieves feels out this map. They're gonna have to make these classics work somehow, maybe drop at least one. But you see how much they're actually trying to get out of it. Maybe even reading Loud for further plays, who's where, what are we getting? Is Sova and Killjoy at B cool? Maybe next round too. Just educating themselves right now as we take this one very slow, down to the pressure cooker.
Oh yeah. You could definitely see it. 100 Thieves, all three players were waiting here the whole time, and Stellar's forming up these orbs, at least on the B side first. Now making more noise as finally it's going to be time for 100 Thieves to move inside the A site. But all they need to do now for Loud is just crossfire with all of these Spectres. That's a couple of players to fall, and only able to lose one player in that process. The economy continues to be strong now for Loud, moving into the third.
A little bit of a fish in the barrel there.
Yep,
They knew exactly what was going on without moving around the map too much. Loud with that read. Aspas, the Marshal, likes to start sniping ASAP on these clutches.
Spike down A.
I think tuyz just getting a lot of points there. Yeah. From the Shadows will be up soon. But that's 10-4 now. Having those first two rounds really puts all that pressure onto 100 Thieves. This has to be a bonus win for them. Or Loud could look to topple this right over into that 13-4 score line. Push out towards Cat, push towards mid. They're trying to identify spots for 100 Thieves right away, especially with the 0-point usage. 100 Thieves are happy to take it slow, though. They just have to keep control of the map if they're going to leave the spike down like this.
Yeah. 100 Thieves were definitely okay being hit by that 0 point in the earlier round, looking for that fight into A main, trying to catch Loud off position, potentially with because of the slower buy, the bonus that comes in for the defender side. All of the focus now shifting towards the B site. The execution coming in, the dash to clear the space and looking for the opportunity to hit the switch. Nice paranoia though. That allows Cryocells to move down towards the staircase and drop cauanzin. B site now open, and it's time for Loud to come in for the retake.
I love that drone there. Used during the take and not to follow the drone into the take. Really nicely done. Throws cauanzin right off his game. And now it's the retake Fancilia. Quite a bit of util coming in here. Paranoia ready for tuyz.
Exactly. Paranoia and a flash available for saadhak as well. Looking for the first clear. There's that flash for the staircase, a TP through, but the wallbang still comes in from Derrek. Recon dart now available as he's shooting that over towards the B entrance. There's one tag, and there's that wallbang. And up to aspas and less. And the flawless is in the sights for 100 Thieves in this round. Because there's only one player left to take. And that's aspas to fall. The 100 Thieves, they needed that round to start early.
Exactly.
In the second half.
And it's even better that the majority of them stayed up. That money is going to be super important here as Loud knows how to just get everything out of you. As you try to get into the site, make you have to do a 2-layer attack instead of just hopefully your first. See tuyz with the op already. Marshall straight to operator. He had a pistol in his hand the first round, but it's just been long guns now. So I'm gonna go straight for this orb. He's 2 away from Bladestorm, so this might be a focus. That's a lot of pressure.
Definitely a lot of pressure. Again, trying to fight with the 0 point, but saadhak somehow with the judge to get these 2 kills, and that operator is actually in the hands of aspas and the glass cannon, rotating over back towards the A site to support tuyz. Asuna is looking to maybe punish one moving forward. Jiggling from both sides, and looks like tuyz just spotted him. There's that jump spot. To make sure that now Asuna is spotted. The fall back, but still the pick from Asuna. Now pulling out into the null command, and cauanzin again with that Odin. It's gonna be tough. Now a camera basically from the null command to allow Derrek to swing out to hopefully get a kill, but it's not gonna happen.
The cover there is wild for aspas. That's one of the most dangerous places to hide on A site. You easy spam out, but covered there by cauanzin, just everybody having the anchors on those trades. And not even a trade, aspas stays alive. Timeout coming in from Mike's to sort out what's going on in these rounds. They're not being able to break the site. And I think ultimately the follow through with utility for 100 Thieves isn't looking clean, right? The dash, the flash, the follow, it looked great when they sove it into B, but just the standard A, they're all bouncing in together. It seems a little straggled, and they cannot get their shots. I don't know. I mean, 100 Thieves continue to try to identify where Loud are playing on each round, and I think Loud's doing a good job at switching up those positions.
Yeah. I think that's the plus side for 100 Thieves on the attack. Not afraid to take the fight despite trailing so far behind. Fighting towards that A main, but it's been that one way being thrown by tuyz.
Yeah.
That was a thorn in their side in that previous round. Unfortunately, their shots even not connecting on the side for 100 Thieves trying to fight back against saadhak. There's not too much of that mid control coming out for 100 Thieves. Maybe knowing where aspas likes to play that operator from time to time too.
That's exactly where I'm going. It becomes really tough without knowing where aspas is. You don't get the chance to just kind of slow peek tree on cat and see where somebody's there and gain a little more space towards dog, right? You get shot at that point. So util is used every time. So they have to be very specific with where they want to go.
Shutting them down.
Well, aspas is specific rather. Walking down towards mid.
Oh my God.
Activated a dash. And it's now time for aspas on the defense to get these first bloods.
And he gets out. And he gets out.
Asuna is trying everything in his power to try to catch up and try to get him down. Aspas is never afraid to re-peek and to fight back. Updrafting, getting away, getting all the information. The amount of shots coming out for 100 Thieves.
Good pressure.
Gets all of the audio indication of where the defenders
Still hits
and where the attackers are. And yes, indeed, it's still Loud.
Mid.
Getting every single kill so far in this round.
Player standing.
100 Thieves on the coattails of aspas the entire round. He's only 78, 9 HP left. So only taking off his armor and a little bit of chip damage. This guy has the hero aura for them right now. They want to take down aspas. The hero aura is something where you, as a player, get to control what the opponent does. And 100 Thieves wanted aspas right there. His aura big time in this first matchup. 12-5. Final point here coming in for the side of Loud if they can secure it. And this may be a slower round again from 100 Thieves as the spike is split up. They start to feel out the map. Cryo one away from orb grab here if they want to be able to focus that.
Yeah.
I think they're staying away from that early 0 point and then they move in.
It's definitely going to be tough. Everything is stacked against 100 Thieves so far because we have a null command available. The operator from aspas, a very low buy for 100 Thieves.
Yeah. So why don't you go for Bladestorm or Lockdown? They just seem so timid about it. Loud's obviously going to focus it, so maybe they avoid the instant fight. They know it's just going to be too much to use right now, and they want that, like I said, specifically for the take. Here we go towards mid.
Blocking sight.
And the attempt to split into the B site. cauanzin's there with the Odin. Shock darts to push down towards lane. Paranoid to gain space towards the staircase.
All right.
TP out from tuyz. Now 3 players are moving inside the site. Now the knife does some good damage and some good information, but the positioning's still better for Loud. That's 3 to fall, 2 left. One more to seal the round for Loud. And it's Asuna on a 4 versus 1 hit by the Paranoia. Wall banged, and we're going in for the shorty kill. Add that to your bingo card. As Loud comes in victor on the first map. 13-5.
They wake up and then they start sprinting on that one. There wasn't even a moment of kind of groggy-eyed. Wow, Loud actually coming out like they have been asked of them. And 100 Thieves looked really solid to start. They got their pistol round for a few, and then it seemed like Loud had them figured out round after round. Loud's initiations were getting them into sight, getting plants down, and then that was not the same for 100 Thieves attack. We thought that's where 100 Thieves would come out smoking a few rounds, and they actually got put back on the buns.
We saw the game plan, though, for 100 Thieves, trying to make sure that they could get an early man advantage by having Cryocells pushing so forward into unorthodox positions to get in these picks. But when it comes down to, okay, a lot of pressure towards mid, we identify that for Loud, we hit towards the site, and that's been the demise for 100 Thieves after trying to come back for the retake and lose that one here. So a very tough one, at least here, for the Thieves to lose the first map, but thankfully on to the second one. We'll be moving into split, the map choice for 100 Thieves after this break.
What is this from EA? He is currently unstoppable.
True. He is just a consistent demon. El Diablo.
Hey guys, it's EA. Welcome to my course on optimal Valorant training. I'm going to be demonstrating now some angle clearing, how slowly come around the corner as well, making sure no one's on these off angles.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back, everyone. And there you can see Loud fresh off of their victory on Ascent. Now, we did want to give everyone an update. You may have noticed that the pistol round after halftime was actually missed on broadcast. That was unfortunately due to technical issues during halftime that interrupted the pause. And of course, with the pistol round starting instantly, we ended up missing it on the show. But we do have some of the highlights of what happened on the pistol. But did this give us an opportunity, excuse me, words are hard, is my job, to actually talk about what Loud did on Ascent? Because honestly, coming to the half, Mel, and it really felt as if Loud just dismantled 100 Thieves. Like, they had every answer possible.
And even in situations where there wasn't a macro answer, you're put in a 5v2, it's tuyz and cauanzin, like the rookies, and they somehow pull off a trick right underneath the 100 Thieves, and stuff like that just can't be happening.
100 Thieves had moments where we saw the macro seemed sound. They had good rotations on the defense. They were setting up for these flood retakes. They had good ideas of how to execute them, but Loud would just find that one gap in the execution, exploit that, and again, very similar to that NRG series, those little mistakes snowballed into a map loss. You cannot give those opportunities to a team like Loud, or you're going to end up with a scoreline like this.
At this point in VCT, no matter where you're watching or you're playing around the world, you just cannot give up those small errors, because that is going to just be the catalyst for you to spin out. It could snowball. It could get even worse for them. And that is exactly what ended up happening to 100 Thieves. Also didn't help out too, Mimi, that, you really just had players, as we were talking about in the pre-show, players on this team that they were just able to make things happen on the whim. Les, for example, we spoke about him in great lengths. This guy, man, it's like he's such a reliable hand, and he's aggressive, which I enjoy.
On the attacking side, the lurks he was finding were so good. Rounds like that one where he's late round pinching the backstab up towards heaven. In these post lanes, doing such a good job of anchoring down the site.
Love how proactive he is.
Yeah, he's extremely proactive, and he performed well, but he's not the flashy player like Aspas. You watch this guy and you're like, oh, he's having a pretty good game. And then glance at the scoreboard and he's dropped like 25 kills. He's just so consistent.
His mechanics are insane, but he's such a cerebral player. That one round we saw, he's like holding for the rotations from CT back into B on a sliver angle. Who does that? He's so cerebral, knowing that Asuna's going to be rotating back in his sight and having the mechanics to actually pull that off. It's world class.
And Loud call around him so well. On the defensive side, he's fantastic at holding large swaths of space alone, even if it is with the utility or without. He's fantastic at understanding the gaps and allowing the rest of Loud, players like Aspas, that freedom that gives him these really proactive defense sides.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Turns out Loud didn't lose the first game, Mimi. So our bingo card's kind of getting thrown up for a loop.
Yeah. They've
your fault.
broken the streak. It's not my fault. We expected it 3 weeks in a row. They finally changed. If anything, this should be a celebration for Loud that they're not starting a series slow, right? Like, they're living up to the expectations of coming out and looking like a team that is 6-0.
Yeah. And it's a scary, honestly, sight for 100 Thieves. If you're going against that, you're looking into this. They've been losing. They've been dropping map 1. This is where we're going to have our hot start, boys, today.
Yeah.
And then you get hit with that for the first time. They haven't had that cold start in weeks. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle for sure.
I think maybe we should it was probably because Mel couldn't finish her presentation. We weren't sold
the weather
yet.
Was right.
You know what I mean?
Talk about the weather.
We didn't get to talk about the weather, and that's the reason why. It all makes sense. That being said, though, 100 Thieves not out of this one, not by a long shot, because you can't start map 2 without a little warm up. It's the Aim Lab shoot around. So let's go ahead and check in on Aspas as he shoots some orbs. He be orbing, and not the orb maxing, but orb shooting, right? You like that, Amy?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know, I'm trying over here. Come on, I'm sick. Anyway, the point is, though, that Aspas is such a force to be reckoned with on this field that whenever he's out there, you saw the impact round after round that he had, put the op on his hands, let him do his thing. He is a flashy player. He is exciting to watch. He's a lot like Michael Jordan, if you remember Michael Jordan back in the day. And then I would say...
Is that guy like the Aspas of basketball, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then in that case, Les, or Scottie Pippen would be the Les of basketball as well. Just a guy who gets the job done.
Just blank face, no thoughts behind those eyes.
I love my job. But yeah, so with that being said, we move on to 100 Thieves map pick of Split. And they could be coming out of here with a splitting headache if it ends up going the way that it went there on Ascent. You like that, right, Mimi?
What is Blood waffling about? This guy's on one today.
Blood is thriving.
Can you please talk about
Blood
Split?
be thriving.
I mean, it looks daunting, and we know that Loud is confident on this map. But
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first maps that Loud dropped at the very beginning of the season was against Cloud9, and it was on Split. And albeit they were experimenting with Gecko, but I will say, watching the Loud games, I'm not as convinced with their Split as I am with their other maps. So obviously, backs against the wall here. 100 Thieves need to take this map at all costs, but I think this is a fair battlegrounds to do it.
And it's an interesting stylistic matchup in this one. 100 Thieves plays this the Sage composition with the solo duelist and the Raze on Cryo, with it on Asuna and Cryo locking in that Sage instead. That has worked really well for them. On their defensive side, having both Stellar's Sentinel utility as well as having that Sage in the mix does a lot for them, for giving freedom in these rotations on the defensive side. We saw how much freedom that was given on over to aspas in map number 1, and I'm hoping that Asuna is afforded some of those same opportunities here.
And on top of that, with Loud, it's going to be really hard. I mean, Aspas, like you said earlier, he has so much freedom because he can really put a lot of faith in his teammates to close out the round. tuyz is going to be there. He's going to close it out in case something does go wrong. So he has a little bit more free reign on how he approaches that. So really going to be looking at 100 Thieves here on Bang, on Asuna, again, to close out these rounds for 100 Thieves.
This is also a comp with a lot of stall that can shut down these fast hits that Loud will sometimes go for with this double duelist comp. But they've actually added a lot more depth to this composition. You will see rounds where they slow things down, where they're not just going for that dive. So I would say 100 Thieves still isn't favored, even if the composition looks good versus double duelist.
Well, we're set and ready to go, and that means this is part of the show where I send it back over to your casters. It's Vansili and Riv. Have fun.
Thank you, GB. Indeed, it is going to be still a very tough match. 400 Thieves on that second map of Split.
Yeah.
Yes, I do like their composition. I do agree with Mimi, but yes, there has been some changes in how you want to change the pacing for Loud on this very map too. So maybe ways to adapt a little bit early against 100 Thieves on a defense this time around.
Yeah, make sure you can always follow saadhak or aspas. There's no slows from Cryo. It's going to be even more a push-pull than we saw last map to get this Sentinel utility out from 100 Thieves, as Loud will try to do. Getting ready to hop into this one. We don't see any changes for the squads. And Loud has suffered a bit on Split. So we'll see how they get into this one. Interesting, 100 Thieves was able to get it. I'm still excited to get it to Haven. They're both very, very good on it, but it's Split, and it is a big push towards Alt Orb on main here to start things off.
That's right, so the wall comes up early, but you already saw in the attack, Loud has 3 Frenzies, a Sheriff, and a Ghost. Big way to break that wall very, very quickly, but Loud decide to pull back towards sewers to take mid control.
Still have a good lurk by tuyz here. Just figure out where the stars are going to go. That'll probably tell the story for the rest of this round from the side of Loud. They start to take that B main control. Still have great lurks around the map, especially audio cues that you can grab as our first kill comes from Bang and Evan. He's mailed that one quite quick.
And that makes me remember.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about it in a bit. We got some action.
Wow.
Sue's now towards this mid take. A flank behind from Asuna with the Frenzy. Continuing Frenzy versus Frenzy. A trade-off though from saadhak. No support behind because it was a flash that's coming out instead from Derrek. Meanwhile, with the hit towards B main. Bang anchoring towards this B site. And Cryo grabs the last kill, so another pistol that comes in favor to start things off on the second map this time around for 100 Thieves.
Great job on the site clear. I want to note that play by Asuna, though. Really great patience. Was running right into 2. The moment he realizes it's danger zone, backs up, plays the nade, and waits for his team. Absolutely saving that round and just controlling 2 of the members of Loud. So good personal play there coming out of Asuna to start this one off. They're going to have decent money to buy into this second round as Loud is kind of milling about that A. It looks like they all just want to come from the sewer side as they start. Same setup for Loud as the first round, except for the wall take. They have this 1-3-1 going through the map. And it's not stopping too much.
Oh, it's quick.
Yeah, this is the util. This is the get in their face, push, pull. Where can we get it from? A nice push here already by Les. Has walked up ramp and they secure Heaven of A. But can they get the site? Stellar still waiting.
In the back of map with this Spectre. There is support from Derrek off that rotate, but the wall bangs are not connecting. Now Stellar's under heavy trouble. Still flicks around for 2 kills, but meanwhile his teammates are falling on the top of A Heaven.
I got the spike.
Somehow it becomes a 2 versus 2. And the Spectre is picked up by aspas as he goes in for the plant as well.
Planted.
Double satchels, full util for aspas. Not full, but util for aspas. They're going to try to play this close. Just about the same HP on both sides.
It's not Planet for less, but that's a nice flick by aspas to dash up. Bang makes it a 1v1. Looks up and spots the last player. That's Les jumping around, trying to shoot here off the sheriff that he picked up.
One more shot.
And he still gets it.
Ooh. What a round. Even with that bit of identification at the end. They might have known that Les was up top due to Aspas's movement, but it didn't matter. The eco fan's silly. That's not what 100 Thieves needs coming off of Ascent there. Loud already put their mark on this game just the second round in. Vamos, indeed. Fraud very happy with that. And his team. And that was the walk up towards mid. Draw a little bit of utility, and then they went through vent. So we'll see how much room Les gets throughout these rounds, because Les was very big there to be able to call the team back into A heaven. This one, they're going to work together and just try to anti-eco whatever 100 Thieves has ready. See them pushing out into mid a little bit. Loud giving some respect here.
Yeah.
They don't want to get caught off or give 100 Thieves any inch back in with a lost gun or a weapon on the ground.
Maybe giving too much respect, though, because 100 Thieves are able to get some nice mid-control.
Pretty far up.
At least they have the weaponry towards the A site. Where there's only Stellar waiting here with the classic. Spotted already as aspas opens it up. Now the site is clear. Tuyz looking for the lurk kill. Easy one onto Asuna.
Patience pays off, huh? And contact play into A. So really not alerting 100 Thieves to anything so they can flood the site with this Sentinel util and making sure they're right up on their opponents before they attack. Nicely garrisoned into A. They can see how much power they have. Tuyz is still way across the map, making sure there's no far lurk or I wouldn't be saves to this round, but anybody coming in late.
And that's why you're giving that respect to 100 Thieves. They could do the same thing that you just did to them on that previous round. But at least with the clock ticking down for the defense half, you're just trying to make this expensive. Bang setting up for the exit as he drops, though. Off time and gets picked off by aspas. Round still going to come in for Loud. We've done a bit of damage at least. From the defense onto the attack.
Yeah, cauanzin and Les will have to rebuy. Let's see what that does to them. Not a whole lot. As the rest of the team just has to rebuy that armor. Bladestorm again online early. Bladestorm was what changed Ascent for Loud last time. 100 Thieves had a bit of a grip on the game. Aspas with Bladestorm, thank you very much. And they basically started to run away with rounds.
Yeah, and that's when they were trailing behind, but this time around,
now they're
getting that thrifty round.
Yeah.
So 100 Thieves into this buy. A very important one for them too, because if not, they're going back into another eco into next.
Just that much more weight from Aspas's ultimate, knowing. But Asuna drops less to start this off, so they know that lurk is going to keep coming through, right? Already. They're going to play off of it.
This is big, because that's no lurk wall. So any stars that come down for smokes coming up may be the convincing push to where Loud's attempting to take. It's Tuyz, the smoke player so far, off the tap. The satchels misses. Asa still looking to chase, hunt down the kill. But at least gains that position, that map control, funneling everybody from Loud back towards the A site. Big flash from Derrek to get the info onto A heaven. Bang's looking to peek for the kill. Derrek, though, still fights back from the elbow. Dash in from aspas, a flash from support. Beautiful one to fight inside that smoke. That's Bang the fall.
So reliable. Aspas entering the site, you can always count on it. It's ridiculous. Again, they're opening it with just the guiding light coming through, and now 100 Thieves.
Spike planted.
To reset. 3v3. No, they have the nade to displace. Cryo goes down. It's going to be tougher now.
It's always the support around aspas too. The nice flash from cauanzin. The lurk from Tuyz once again. And Stellar's looking to save his Phantom. As it crosses over, Tuyz is still waiting, and that's no weapon save.
Jeez. It looks very reminiscent of how Loud played the Ascent match. They got to their position, they held, waited, and then aspas go. Util follow over the shoulder, and they are in on that activation button. 100 Thieves playing Insight, trying to guard that one. A little tough. They played out of sight. Haven't been able to do much. Loud is doing a really good job at working the map and keeping 100 Thieves guessing. Here, more of a default for the first time that we've seen from Loud. You see what they do for 100 Thieves eco round here.
Go get him.
The eco round is a lot of pressure towards mid.
Yeah.
Saadhak's pushing 2 of those players that were stacked up for that pinch from Vince. So they could just spray through this. The Trailblazer to get some info. It stuns onto 1, and now the flick from Stellar cannot get the connect from the Stinger that he purchased. Cryocells still trying to get the angle in, but Saadhak stops him. So things are looking pretty good for Loud to convert this round. Aspas even on the lurk from behind. There is that flash for support once again. Whoa. And there's only 1 left. Bang with his own Stinger. At least gets that one.
And you can see that saadhak even catching Stellar off guard there as our final fight comes through from Les's lurk. And that saadhak went into mailroom. Stellar thought that blast pack either went into the corner of mid or to his teammates in vent, so he came around to help. But really, it was the aggression of saadhak pushing forward, instant kill there. Yeah, they're not expecting a lot of this aggression as it happens. They're thinking there's a few more feet to play with, a little bit more room to express a strat, but no, Loud isn't having any of it. Operator attack, Bladestorm up here from Aspas as we are on to round 6. You can see the Cosmic Divide coming in big, usually used over towards B for a lot of rounds. Looks like they may focus the spike that way. But lurk hold in mid too. cauanzin ready for Asuna push.
And for the Thieves, there is definitely that support towards that B main. Maybe trying to get a timing to pick up an orb, which would be important for Derrek for the retake plays. 400 Thieves, because they have their own Cosmic Divide to play the retake. There's that Trailblazer spotted off first, now open area.
Get out of my way.
That's now Derrek moving forward, picking up the orb. Seeker's now ready, pops it right away. So that's going to be potentially Loud. Identifying that and looking to push right into the A site. But it stays calm for now. Operator on the attack in the hands of Aspas.
All 3 Seekers taken out by just tuyz and vent too.
Cryocells with the first blood, but instantly traded back by Aspas. Cryocells with the 3rd one!
Spike down.
Play aim labs into the bottom of heaven, into the top of the window. As saadhak looks to answer back. Dropping down towards hell, looking for the spray. Cryocells looking for the 4th kill into the round.
Still divide.
Last player standing.
Committing into it. saadhak falls back instead. Trying to get a timing for a spike plant.
Left.
But with the rope now. Thankfully, there's a Cosmic Divide, though, that masks all of that information. And when he comes in for that plant, the showstopper will be ready.
No way to bounce around,
Spike
just
planted.
the pressure creator right now. Does he try to aggro? Oh, what a tricky spot to play. He knows the timing cannot be on his left side yet, which is why he's so focused up top. But now, yeah, it's a guessing game.
Keeping him close. Here's the footsteps. Trying to find a better angle. Trying to catch one off guard. But 100 Thieves pick up a clean round thanks to the hold from Cryocells.
Yeah, that was incredible battle stage coming out of Cryo there. Beautifully holding down the site. And that's the first time we've seen 100 Thieves on this one be able to kind of hold that site without their utility usage. That came down to the firepower. A lot of the times you'll see Loud winning that battle right there. Not against Cryo today. A big round coming up for them, and it's going to be a timeout for 100 Thieves as Mike's wants to keep that momentum going, some reassurance, because it is going to be tough. Last time we had the wins for 100 Thieves, Loud does something a little more funky. To pull out your util, to make it look like they're hitting a site that much more, and take it right back.
Yeah.
Take your win away and reset the money again. And that's where that's where your game can get really out of hand.
A little bit of a confidence, some cushion on a retake that's finally successful for 100 Thieves, but that's off, what, a 3 versus 1 that we had before? But what's plaguing them as well for the Thieves so far is the not able to convert 5v4s. They lost 2 already out of 6 on this map. Loud always being able to answer back off first bloods coming out here from 100 Thieves.
I mean, that was their first retake of the map, right?
Yep.
So
That's
you
true.
can see how it's going for 100 Thieves right now. Loud's in, they win, and we get to the next round, rinse and repeat. Round 7 coming in now. Ultimate's pretty ready here. 100 Thieves may be able to try something a little crazy if they can get the battle res in. And Spike focus one more time towards A.
And that timeout maybe have been taken advantage by saadhak and also by Fraud, because we have a showstopper ready for saadhak. But to start off the round, there's a bit of pressure towards mid from a Sky Flash up towards the vents. So the default mid pressure coming out from Loud. They're looking to pinch back towards the A site. And this showstopper is going to come in from heaven. 100 Thieves already knows that. Look how passively they're playing inside this A site.
Yeah, all those traps. Just waiting for friends to come on by and say hello. Trailblazer into B heaven. cauanzin doing a little bit of clearing here as they are still trying to work that spike towards A, so a little deterrent. Here we go for saadhak.
Satchel in, the flash, shoots it right away. But as he lands, Stellar's already moving inside the site. Trip to actually trap one as he's looking for a spray. Will get it off the tuyz. And also the dancing around the cages, and we're left behind by Stellar. And it's a Stellar hold for 100 Thieves.
You don't say. You don't say. Cryo 1 round, Stellar the next. And they're ready. They're ready to give up A heaven. That's been a lot of what we see in the current meta. It's not a flush into the site or getting in there immediately. It is into heaven, hold heaven, waterfall into site, and have screens. So 100 Thieves is ready for that. Stellar's been playing back site the majority of these rounds with traps set up for that team to get slowed on the way in. And then you get collapsed on by the rest of 100 Thieves.
The initial play was good, though. They had that Trailblazer that they used from middle with that star that was left on B, having to keep 100 Thieves there. Let's hold that thought. It looks to be very quick for Loud as they're looking to activate behind the Seekers.
Oh, they do.
Trailblazer to break one of the traps. As Stellar is holding towards screens. There is support from heaven as 3 players from 100 Thieves are up there, waiting for the smokes to dissipate from both the A ramp and also the window. There is that retake wall coming out for the defenders, but all of Loud playing inside of this pit with one late lurk. saadhak still gets the first blood onto Cryocells, and it's a bloodbath inside of this pit. Still it's Loud on the upper hand.
Getting some frequent flyer miles there.
Pulling, knocking them.
All Stars plays down. Gravity well, Cosmic,
One enemy remaining.
but it's still gonna be the ruckus out. A great hold from Loud on the pulse plant.
I said we don't see many of those now, but we just did. Straight into the site, no hesitation from Loud, and we see just how scary that can look. Yeah, Loud has definitely figured out what was plaguing them on this map, being able to have a much better scoreline than basically the last 2 plays that they were able to come out with, and feeling comfortable, the team working together so well, and aspas again just controlling this game. That hero aura is true for him. 13-5 now as we get another buy round. It is a low buy for Asuna, but showstopper's ready. Les will stay on the flank, and mid gets pressured again. Both stars already set up to get more position in mid from Loud. And honestly, Vansili, they haven't done as much utility extraction from 100 Thieves as they thought they would. It's actually Loud feeling confident if they've Trailblazered or guiding lighted the space, and then they take it.
Yep.
That was just one slow there, and they're still happy to move forward.
And this time's a little bit different for 100 Thieves, though. The utility is being used back. And try to push back that aggression, that default. From Loud's control up on middle.
There.
A map where 100 Thieves has been looking quite strong on defense, but this time around against Loud, trailing behind by 2. And speaking of trails, that is going to be the Trailblazer out from cauanzin.
Good push.
To allow Loud to push towards main, but there's the hole from tuyz, dropped by Asuna. All the rest know of Loud coming in from the B, having showstopper on the defense in the hands of Asuna. And he's just waiting the whole time, waiting for saadhak to move forward. And catches him. The advantage out now for 100 Thieves, a 2-player advantage. A res available for Cryocells. As aspas is just holding towards the spawn. Plant is going to be safe. As 100 Thieves are slowly inching in for the rotate. Waiting for the right moment for all of them to flood back into the site, and there you go. cauanzin decides to fight back. Low in HP on a 4 versus 2 in favor of 100 Thieves. cauanzin looking for a timing, lands onto that one. And it's up to the lurk now from Les. But he's gonna get less than a kill. Derrek stops him, and 100 Thieves finally, they get a strong defensive hold once again.
Ooh, 100 Thieves getting a much-needed round here. Looks like we could actually get a 6-6 first half. Bring up the scoreboard, see how the last few happened. Yeah, so it was 100 able to get their timeout win, right? And then it's still Loud coming through, so back and forth in these last ones. Puts the economy in a pretty weird place for Loud here. They're going to be calling a timeout as we get into this round, although with buys, this could be a flip of the map for 100 Thieves to grab quite a few rounds, maybe even the last few. Oh, hey, look it. Aspas leans back. Fill it in on your bingo cards. All right. Fraud gonna chat with the team and let them know last few rounds need to happen here. I think it could be a chat about how little 100 Thieves is actually pushing the extremities and how much that Loud may be able to work off that. One of the rounds or few that we have seen Asuna push, or a few of the other members, 100 Thieves have gotten pretty great information to be able to secure the round.
Correct. The only thing that was difficult for them when you saw how Loud was taking a huge advantage at the beginning of this half was because 100 Thieves got thrifty. So you had to work that economy back into your favor. You had to try to do some crazy plays onto your ecos, and it just didn't come into fruition to do that damage. So 100 Thieves were really trailing behind economically. And thankfully, now that it's right, we're able to fight back.
Yeah.
Make this only a one round lead for Loud.
Aspas, still good. Double tuyz right now, or anybody else. That's how you know you're having a confident game. And he wants to close this out too.
Another day in the office for Aspas, pretty much.
Confidence face. Always.
Viper,
Well, actually, don't know if he has yet, so you can't mark that down on your bingo sheet, on your vamo.
But let's change things around. 100 Thieves off this timeout. Look at the positioning from Stellar, the utility that's being used. Using trap wires on both ends of the vents and towards B Heaven. And Cryocells playing the off angle. And with support from Derrek, they both win that 2v2. Off angle being played after it gets shot off on the trip. Asuna's make it a little bit more comfortable for 100 Thieves into this round. Now Seeker's invested actually on the attack. Camera doesn't get the ping. But it's gonna have to be heroic plays from these Loud players. The support system off the shorty, but that's two players waiting for him there. Spike is now down. tuyz made it in somehow inside this B site. The flash, though, he hides inside the nebula. Clearing towards the back of the site, but he clears the wrong angle. And that's Bang to get the backstab, and we're tied up 5-5.
Looking happy after that round. And the money is not looking good for Loud. It's exactly what 100 Thieves needed. They come off of Loud's timeout, and they say, thank you very much. And they start to run away with some rounds possibly here. And this is where 100 Thieves needs to be patient, because I feel like Loud's very good at figuring out what 100 Thieves is doing, getting that 5v4, and then just running away with the round once they're able to get Aspas dashing into a site. Loud is such a different team when they're in the post plan. Not having guns almost doesn't matter. They're that scary. This is a beautiful push, though. Start to control the round as 100 Thieves gets an idea that it won't be an insta rush, and that can definitely let everybody get that pressure feel off. Make these shots count as they get into the site.
Could have been dangerous, though. That was Cryocells looking for that first peek, and he has that res available. Did get some damage done against him, forced the fall back, puts the wall up into self-heal. That's going to delay the clock a little bit more. And that's probably going to press Loud to try to make it a play.
I wonder if they run back here, deliver a bit of util, and go back to Les. He is so far forward in A Heaven right now. It'd be a long run if they go through vents. It looks like they're pretty committed to this right now. They actually just pinged Les. I think they might have seen him on the cam.
But it doesn't matter for now. Loud looking to entry towards this B site. Hiding towards the back of the site is going to be Bang, who does get the headshot at cauanzin.
One
and the support
remaining.
system from the top of Heavens.
30 seconds left.
As you mentioned now, Riv, the camera's spotting Les to know exactly where he's at. Rotation comes out to protect the spike. It's up to Les only with the Sheriff. Singularity. Single person.
You're on a roll. You won't stop today.
You know, it's dad jokes. I'm getting old, man.
10 seconds left.
Probably gonna go down with this.
You have to. You have to. You
Wants
can't
to
let
find
the
one.
1,000 credits come back here on the save. He peeks out. Derrek stops him. And 100 Thieves They take the lead.
6-5. And this is pretty impressive, Vansili. We got to talk about that second round was won by Loud. 100 Thieves got pistol. You mentioned it earlier. You can still see it on the board there. The second, third, fourth, and fifth went to Loud, but 100 Thieves, maybe even making this a 7-5 still. Is where you're pretty happy when you're winning on defense, as you should on this map, but to come back after losing the second, it's spelling good things for 100 Thieves. They're definitely coming together.
And the comeback is finally converting these 5v4s, getting these first bloods. Overall, 8-3, going head-to-head against Loud on first kills and first deaths.
Get out of my way.
But despite all that, it's still only a one-round game on this first half of Split. And Loud looking to pressure towards this A site. And the positioning, the utility from Stellar, once again, well read. Into A. Satchel in, stopped by the trap. The Blade Storm doesn't get a kill. The Trailblazer, and then the Snake Bite forces Stellar to melt down. But Derrek is still in the back of the site. Somehow Loud still opens it up. Pressure up towards the A ramp. A 2v2 ensues up there. But it's Loud with the 4K.
Okay.
And we end the half 6-6. Wow. Okay, that's how you fight.
That's why you just don't know from round to round, Vansili. Loud had been playing slow. 100 Thieves getting a bit of retake after the hits. And then off the rip, Loud have a round, and they just slap you down like you're in the shooting range. It's so hard to tell what kind of confidence they'll bring from round to round. But it's like, if you make them mad, you should probably be worried.
All right, GB, in the desk. What do you make of this? Does 100 Thieves stand a chance?
Hey, man, any given Sunday, anyone's got a chance. But for right now, though, 100 Thieves and Loud tied up on Split. And it looked like it was going to go pretty good in the beginning for 100 Thieves. They got the first round. You're like, all right, let's see. Pistol round secured. And then they lost, and then they got thrifted in round 2. And then you thought that was going to be the tone setter for it. 100 Thieves brought it back, Mel.
That thrifty was hard to watch, but the fact that they're able to bounce back, they had a rough start afterwards as well, but they've had a great recovery the last 6 rounds, like a 5-1. And I think what really started to make that shift was when they kind of stopped playing on site and they started playing more towards like that retake. More towards B, they were able to flood a bit better. I saw like nice combos with the suck and the nade and some sage throws and peeking off of each other. But towards it, they found more success playing retake.
And that was so impressive because, like you said, it started really rough. Those rounds where they were trying to play on site, like round 4, very early on, it was really falling apart. In this one, you see 2 players are trying to fight on anchoring this A site together, but the spacing is off. Bang goes into his smoke, not ready for aspas to be as far up, and Derrek as well just takes a 1v1 and loses it. These are the same issues that were cropping up on Ascent, where one gap would be created, they'd lose a pick, and then players would kind of try to panic to find the play to get back into the round. But despite that, a map and a half of failing in that way, they recovered, and like you're saying, looked so much better in the second half when they realized that their game plan needed to be playing into those flood retakes versus anchoring.
And I think, too, trying to play on site is kind of a trap against a double duelist. Because you look at this comp, technically they don't have an omen. They don't have that blind. They don't have that breach to set them up.
Yeah.
When you're playing against, like, saadhak and aspas who are entering, they're just, like, winning these straight-up aim duels. It's good for them to, like, cut the ego back. They're like, yo, let's just play retake. We have a solid retake and just go into something that'll win for them.
But in the second half now, it is Loud on their stronger side. They've been, they've been good on the attack and on the defense. But the retakes are what are great here. And they've also been winning a lot of pistol rounds. 2 for 3 right now in the series. 6-6. 100 Thieves not out of it yet.
Yeah, well, Vansili and Riv asked the question, can they find a way? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Vans, Riv?
Thank you so much, GB. Yes, indeed. Sometimes we want to pass it to GB so that they could predict the future, but we'll just let the game play itself now as we start the second half between 100 Thieves and Loud. Loud's now on the defense, 100 Thieves on to the attack. We're looking once again at the buy. 8 frenzies into this round and a shorty for aspas.
Friends everywhere. The shorty for aspas. Do we have that one? Oh, we already got one from last map, so that's okay. We're fine on the bingo card there, or the Vamo card. Where are they starting? What's the play? Actually, 3 towards A here for Loud. A little bit of check mid as Les uses his orb. See that quite commonly come out from the Vipers. And maybe a mid to B strategy here to start things off, paying attention to the extremities here and how much util is used. Trailblazer already on A, so no Loud's gonna start pinching in the rest of the map. Here they go.
Saw the position there from Derrek using that Trailblazer, faking going into the mail to look back towards the vents and spotting 2 players there. There's that wanted to show for 100 Thieves to split towards his B site. We're looking to hesitate for a bit. Flash then comes out, there's the wall, but the rotation already comes out for Loud. 2 players on top of B having paint shells to come out, but it's Asuna with the first blood, but A post-mortem kill. The saadhak and aspas. Answered back by Derrek.
Enemy remaining.
It's a bloodbath all over the place, but still the advantage comes out for the Thieves.
Oh, he lives.
Sort of misses the shots. That allows
they heard him.
cauanzin to reel out the frenzy. The timing on that one, so he knows where both players are. The high-low! And it's gonna be loud, saying hello.
Interesting round. Really touch and go there for a moment. I thought 100 Thieves were going to have that sight, but it was just cauanzin being tricky, jumping around and keeping himself alive for the 2v1 situation. A nice play overall. Both squads, I think Loud did a good job at figuring out the extremities to pinch on 100 Thieves faster than they wanted their strat to be known. A little bit more map coverage. Be staving that off. Second round, Marshall already. And it looks like they actually leave the extremity open now. So this is what they're doing to stop that from happening again. At least having the camera on the right side to know when that push could possibly come in. A guiding light identifies no one's there. They're going to push up and get free orbs on A all day, I think. There's another guiding light as mid is being played here by 100 Thieves slowly around the map. Yeah, those orbs are saadhaks right now.
Moving right into aspas is Marshall. Aiming down the sight. Taking a passive angle. There's the first contact. Activating the dash. Never afraid to re-peek. There's the second one. Goes for the third.
Three-peek?
Almost a wall bang.
He's reloading and he stays!
And the fourth! And gets the ace with a second no-scope!
Vamos! Fill out your bingo card!
I mean, it's probably full at this point.
Holy shnikes. Just let this one play. Or let me reload a few. Perfect.
One enemy remaining.
It almost felt like he threw the bullet to get that.
I don't know. I just don't. And look, cold. Just another day at the PC. Wow.
Well, thankfully it was an eco for 100 Thieves.
Concealment.
True.
Opportunity to answer right back now that they have stronger rifles. But saadhak does have this judge. He's playing it towards his mail. Trap on the bush. Stellar looking for that. And couldn't punish aspas, who has to fall away with 61 HP. We'll probably get the heal there from cauanzin, but for the rest of the Thieves are looking for the push into B main.
saadhak's drawing attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100 Thieves are smart on this. They're falling back.
That would have been a massacre if they decided to go out. Still watching that flank, right? The timing of somebody trying to get a backstab on this play is very possible. And saadhak's walking up to the wall. I don't think they're going to pressure out of that crossfire. Aspas could just pop out like a jack-in-the-box here and somebody finds a dagger. 28
Scary. Remember, back for his ascent, but thankfully the trade's right there. Arsenal falls. So that's no satchel to enter towards the site.
30
Now
seconds
you have
left.
to move in as a group. Stellar looking for the opportunity to lurk. As the rest of the team follows behind with only 20 seconds left on the clock. And there's the full execution. And everything is being cleared, even from a flash. Clearing towards the back of the site. Elbow being face checked by Stellar.
10
as 100
seconds
Thieves
left.
will get the plant down.
Look at this. They wait for saadhak to get to vent. To put that judge up front so they can clear the way and split the pie as they make their way into A heaven. Very far back for less here. They're all waiting for the team to get in as they flood this site. Great positioning here by 100 Thieves. This should be a locked up round for them. Based on how they're set and the ways they're actually, they're getting a little tossed up with the ways they're looking now.
You never know. Bang's already down to 20
Wait a minute.
HP. Cryo's playing the off angle and a double swing, but does get the lineup. And there you go. I just wanted to make sure, Rid, that you weren't caster cursing at this point.
It's good. He stopped me.
Last player standing.
Nice final kill coming out from Stellar. That's going to make less fall back for a bit. Spike is going to go off. And that's the round coming in for 100 Thieves.
A big one. Confident round, too.
The fight on A main? Not going to happen.
Nobody's a hero when they're crying for air.
I feel like that just ends up more trouble when you realize you needed that gun in a few rounds. Aspas, operator on defense here. Looks like you're going to set up maybe a B or towards mid to start.
That's the X factor for sure. The scary part now. Aspas on the operator.
He's got like double the up kills of anybody in VCT Americas.
Yeah.
It is something that he goes for all the time. And the Marshall facilitates that. Low by Marshall for a few rounds. You have off money right away, so you can always see Aspas trying to economy his way to an operator each game. Pretty passive play from Loud on this one, having pushed up on A main quite a few times here.
Okay, he dodged a flash.
Yeah, they dodged that real
This
well.
is false information for 100 Thieves. Maybe looking to try to get this orb so Cryocells could get a res ready. And Asuna's making noise. There's that second flash as it pops up. Okay, now it's identified. But Aspas doesn't care. Doesn't even need to activate the dash. Misses the shot and finally updrafts away. But uses the updraft instead of the dash so they can go for the repeat. Meanwhile, though, there is pressure towards mid as Lex falls. Mid now for the taking, 400 Thieves, but they decide to fall back for a full push. Here's the off angle from Stellar. Trap now being broken off or being picked up. So now saadhak falls back with cauanzin. This might be a perfect timing for 100 Thieves to get the backstab, but meanwhile, Aspas has rotated back towards A heaven. 30 seconds left on the clock. There is a flash from the info. The counter flash out from Derrek, but the off angle forward position from cauanzin to hold up towards the A site. Then the peek from saadhak, and it's looking too strong now for Loud. Getting shot from the sides every single time. 17 seconds left. The fight in from Cryo, and the op shot comes in. I don't think we're gonna res here. I think we have to counter losses. We definitely have to counter losses now.
Yeah.
Spike is down, 5 seconds left. The round's gonna come in for Loud.
Not too much money on the side. 100 Thieves there. Should be able to get a buy-in, I believe, for some of them. But this hero rifle for Cryo, we'll have to see where it goes and how they work it. That operator able to do quite a bit once they know that Aspas has it and just being able to shut down. The one big thing on that was cauanzin re-flashing that boom bot missing just a few seconds later to re-identify that location. And that really put 100 Thieves on the radar for Loud to be able to shut them down. A little timeout here called by Mike's HD. 100 Thieves will have a decent amount of money to get a purchase here, but this one could be tough. 2,900 if they get it next round. For the loss, max loss, they only get about 3,000 credits. So could see Loud running away with a lot of rounds. And at 9-7, not a lot of rounds, Van Silly.
I mean, if you still want to be a scoreboard Stevens, looking at how these maps have been played for 100 Thieves, they had a narrow win against Crew Esports 13-11, and then the OT win against Sentinels 14-12. Remember that death clutch that he forced us into OT against 100 Thieves until finally 100 Thieves were able to win that map. So seeing a 9-7, still very doable here. If you're sitting on the edge of your seat watching this game here in the Riot Arena, it is still doable so far for 100 Thieves, and let's see what comes out of this timeout.
And a really big game, as you at this point are shooting for playoffs. They're right on that cut. They need to just get up a little bit more, make sure it feels good to secure it. And also the wins help. Everybody likes to see those in the left column. Not too many, actually not too many. cauanzin is right around Seekers here. So I don't think we'll see too many ults this round, as we do have a big A focus coming from 100 Thieves. Maybe the first kind of dash into the site.
But Aspas is already there with the operator. Here comes 3 of them moving up, and Asuna gets the drive-by kill. Satchel in. There's a res available, so that's why 100 Thieves wants to move in very aggressively into the A site. That's 2 kills now for the Thieves. cauanzin trying to fight for his life in the back of map. Go gets a second for his own. And just like that, it's a 3 versus 2. The advantage for the attack as they go for the plant for heaven.
Little trip they have to head through here.
Identified jumped over.
Yeah, probably, but then you just want to jump into someone's crosshairs.
That is also true.
Just skeet shoot somebody out of the air.
We are using utility for Loud to re-clear towards the site. Counter flash out from Derrek going deep. And Stellar still holding up towards heaven. Close range Shorty does get the kill. The headshot onto tuyz. And Derrek answers back to avenge Stellar. And that's a huge victory coming out of the timeout for 100 Thieves.
That's very big. Economy-wise, confidence-wise, and 100 Thieves are ults online as we come into this round 18. A setup from Loud may just be outside the site so they can play retake and not get damaged by a lot of these. So you already see passive play towards B maybe to start, get the stars set up. And Loud is going to be ready for everything this round. Now it's just a lurk for Stellar.
Yeah.
See if he'll actually try to get the guiding lights to tag him, right? And make sure that Loud knows somebody's there. No, he's playing far back. He actually wants to still dodge those.
It's weird buy from Loud as well.
Yeah, their money's been going up and down a little bit because the amount of times 100 Thieves able to get a few members down hurts those buys. Oh, this is
range judge. Aspas with the first blood, and we tried to go for the wall res.
So smart. And it's a normal spot that saadhak plays, right? But you see just how many times that spot can become very pivotal.
Yeah.
There on the res. They're going to back up. Yeah, nobody wants that crossfire. As the Seekers come out, they realize somebody's still down on that B main. Okay, Les.
Spike down mid.
Don't worry about it. He's got mid covered. The low buy not really seeming to hurt Loud here. And they just shut 100 Thieves down. This has been, I think this has been a big story of the series going in Loud's favor, is that they're able to just stop 100 Thieves after the one round they get back. 100 Thieves cannot string these together for some reason.
So tuyz on a judge from B to saadhak on a judge on A. And that's 2 judge kills, the long range one after, but thankfully he has the paint shells.
Wow.
To put Asuna on a solo mission. The weapon's still weak here. It's still doable. Jink through the wall. Whew. You can break the crosshair placement on a rifle, but not on a judge. saadhak's having a blast.
little cheeky little smile. Oh my word. Yeah, they feel very in control of this at this point with the money going down. Look at crosshair placement. God, he's a robot. They're having fun. Absolutely enjoying themselves. 5 ults here for 100 Thieves. Stinger round to come around.
Yeah, that's it. They didn't use any of them. Couldn't in the previous round.
Loud is taking you down too quick. Right? How severe can the round become before you use an ultimate? Usually it's only losing a few members of the team.
But you have an opportunity to go very aggressive now because you have these ults around this buy. A couple of stingers.
Yeah.
Rifle for bang. That's the strongest weapon that they have into this round. It's 4 of them prepped up to work towards this B site. While Stellar is looking for timing on the A extremity. Nice gravity well to prevent Asuna from getting too much space towards this B site.
Showstopper retake to come in too. They need to get some ground. This is great space cleared by Asuna here if they can keep this backside covered.
Instant heal. Counter showstopper coming out from the top. Fully flashes saadhak. And look at Stellar with that lurk. Oh, but it's a stinger. Asuna still manages to get the kill though, so this is great ground gained for 100 Thieves until Aspas answers back. An op in the face of Cryocells. 4 versus 4. The retake now comes in towards this B site. The tap onto the spike. The shot missed.
Derrek.
As Derrek comes in for the lurk from behind. We haven't really gotten onto the spike yet.
Pick up the op.
As Les is down towards hell. Flex out to the second kill, but now it's a 2 versus 1. And things are looking really good now for 100 Thieves after all. A 2 versus 1 where we're only tapped towards the spike.
Okay.
Wasn't even halfway. And the round will come in for 100 Thieves. Even Stellar with the kill. And we are fighting right back with the lower buy, this time for the attack.
100 Thieves now delivering that medicine back to Loud. Getting a little funky there with the rifle to op switch on full retake. But hey, you can't dog it. They win the round, right? You didn't try it. They're the ones that won. Now 10-9 now. And a few of those ultimates were used, but even better, 100 Thieves has more to use. Still, that battle res can come out. And the earlier they can get to use Cypher ult, the more impact you're going to have. So if we can get a lurk out of Stellar, that would be gigantic. Already towards the A side, denying guiding light hits. A lot of pressure from Asuna towards that mid side of the map. Spike was in hand, which a little sketchy, but I guess they know what to do.
Yeah.
They're on it.
Just to try to make the movement to waste the utility early towards mid. Meanwhile, though, Aspas pushing all the way up with the Phantom. Dinked the 140 damage. Aspas is chasing after it with the dash. Dashing away, looking back. The support to come in and Cryocells to help him. And will also be able to give the heal up to Stellar. After that kill also would throw the hat out to get an information on the 4 players remaining for Loud. And that's potentially an open A site. All of 100 Thieves are moving in there right now with a late lurk from Bang. Here comes cauanzin at the top of A Heavens, being blocked off by Nebula as 100 Thieves are moving into the site. Plotted for Heaven as well.
Gotta wait. Tuyz still has a ways to go here to get back onto the site. 1 star to be placed. And it looks like they're going for the 2-2 on the extremities, but they have a lurk from Bang that could be huge for 100 Thieves.
Only at 5 HP. Can he maximize the value out of that, out of this backstab? Done a very good job to keep them busy, but unfortunately the timing's off. Saadhak cleared towards the site.
What?
A kill from Tuyz too, and suddenly it's back in favor of Loud on 4 versus 2. A Nebula in. Trying to get the spray. Asuna is about to get pushed on the other side. Still gets the flank.
Full defuse.
We're on the full defuse. We're on the defuse.
Wait.
But it's halfway.
No.
It's going to be enough time.
How do these rounds go back and forth? To point out why this round actually had so much control from Loud, Aspas was able to push up and find Stellar. Very quick, still lurking, because Stellar was dodging all those guiding lights on the side of the map for A main. That find by Aspas means, yes, they still want some dedication towards this side of the map. Loud stays. Loud's able to get a form for the retake, and that was incredible. Bang having 5 health was unfortunate in that situation, but a recheck from Les and the team was the reason they come back on that W. Still a buy for both sides, Vansili. It's going to be that mid pressure once again. Asuna up on front, as usual.
100 Thieves at some point had an opportunity to turn it around in their favor. Finally breaking the economy well enough for Aspas not to be able to get an operator into that previous round. This time around has a Blade Storm. Could still be as dangerous in round number 21 of this second map here on Split.
Push out of B main already.
Yeah.
You can see this is what we were talking about before, where Loud starts to identify, being able to crunch in on 100 Thieves a little bit more. And this flank, this Aspas has gotten a frag just like this before.
That's Aspas, always confident with the Blade Storm, just holding W this time. A walk W to get the backstab in. Meanwhile, though, for 100 Thieves, grouped up to go for a hit for control towards B Heavens. Slowed down by Gravity Well, placed down by Tuyz, and here comes that backstab. Oh my god, everything's just a game of timing. And unfortunately, this time for 100 Thieves, they're split across, but Derrek turns around to still get the kill. That might split off the defense here. A 4 versus 2 inside the A site, and that's
30 seconds left.
Now the battle back towards B Heavens, and Derrek somehow wins that one too. Cosmic Divide as we're playing behind it now.
Bang!
Does get the kill onto Les, and we've opened up the A site. And 100 Thieves once again around a mixed buy of 2 Spectres and rifles. Will manage to get the plant down, even giving it to Asuna to make sure we get the showstopper later on into the rounds. Crucial rounds coming up into this map.
What a sweet, sweet round from 100 Thieves there as well. We're watching a cat and mouse game. We're like, look behind you. But they're feeling out the map too. Nobody's pressured us. Nobody's looking. Let's take this all the way to B. There is probably a flank. It was so readable by them. What an awesome strat to see. This late in the game too. This pressured, this late to pull a through spawn strategy on the defensive side. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
and to somehow Derrek getting a 6th sense to be able to turn around.
Yes.
To actually stop the Blade Storm from adding so much pressure, doing some big damage on Aspas's flank with support from cauanzin too. 2 players doing very well in this series so far.
That's a cook-up strat right there.
Oh yeah.
That's Mike's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my word. 10 to 11 now. Yeah, 100 Thieves showing a little bit of life there in economy as well as the pressure in which they're taking the last few rounds. It's Loud now. Coming up upon them to figure out how to stop this attack. Their defense was the one that was strong before. Now we're looking at 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
To get into the site and how Loud's going to stop that, honestly.
Swing round comes back in favor of 100 Thieves here. Once again, Blade Storm, ineffective for Aspas. This round, no operator. So a little bit of room to breathe. But still a rifle versus rifle as we have aggression towards the A main to start things off. Already being pushed back or allowed by the utility of 100 Thieves, taking control of A ramp.
This is one of the rounds Loud wanted to take that space. So perfectly played by 100 Thieves, and they're going into heaven.
Oh, the boom blind clears it up, and Asuna gets the first blood. Now towards the back of the site, the 2 players are still waiting there. The satchel in, full blinded, somehow lands to get the headshot on the cauanzin. Aspas pushes in, but it gets avenged by Bang. And once again, 100 Thieves, a very fast push towards the A site, and they get the plant down.
In unstoppable mode on that take right there. Everyone forward, scaling the site as fast as can be, and now 2 in heaven to retake. Les and Tuyz with a tall task here.
Toxin screen down.
I was gonna say a flank coming in from Stellar, but looks like he's gonna hold on to that A main position.
Might even be exactly. It might even an opportunity for 100 Thieves to maybe go for the hunt.
They have the money. Most of them, at least.
They have the
Derrek
money. They have the res. And already the crowd behind 100 Thieves has come back to tie up the game 11-11. It's also up to their crowd to potentially make that wish to see if we could see the third map in this series between 100 Thieves and Loud. As it looks to be safe for less than tuyz, they'll manage to salvage a Vandal and a Phantom. To round 23.
You say Van's 9-7 doesn't look that bad, doesn't look that far away. 100 Thieves always plays close games, something like that?
On this map? Definitely. Definitely.
Something like that. Man, these last few rounds look so drilled. And by that, I mean that there was no hesitation by any player. At the time they were supposed to smoke, flash, or jump forward, everyone did. And that's what a strat looks like when it comes together beautifully. A timeout will be called here by Fraud. Loud's gonna go ahead and chat it up. And this was what I was alluding to before. The game was in Loud's hands. They were dictating it from that defensive side, and we just saw the switch. Now it's Loud figuring out how to defend, and I think that's a little bit of the information that they're getting right now.
Yeah. So a big call coming out from Fraud once again. One of the rare moments. Aspas, cold as ice. Leaning back once again, but as I was trying to get to and allude to, we didn't have too many eco opportunities for Loud. They've been in the driver's seat pretty much this whole series, but also 1 and 2 in terms of the ecos that they were able to bring in. Think about back on that thrift that they had in this very map. On that second round, still able to answer back on a pistol round win by 100 Thieves. We're still not out of this yet here for the attack side.
What's plaguing Loud right now is they are 1 and 5 on the retakes right now. So that's going to be a little bit tough when 100 Thieves has been getting into the site. Getting that spike down. They are figuring out ways. Stellar commanding the squad right now on how to get these rounds capitalized on. 2 gates go out. Loud running the same setup defensively that they did last round, but they are not pushing up with the Trailblazer guiding light here with Aspas and Cauanzin. Those Sheriffs and Shorty will keep them back on their heels. Could be a few good shots, though, if they actually walk into this little crossfire, but eventually they both go down. How much damage can they do is the question.
So they'll spot Aspas with the Shorty, the showstopper, up towards the air. We dash away. So it's wasted by Asuna, but at least there's some damage being done. No opportunity for cauanzin to get the heal up yet because they're under heavy pressure towards this A site. Shorty once again behind the map. And Aspas does get that kill. The spike now falls. Somehow we've rotated across here for Loud.
There.
And it's a disadvantage for 100 Thieves now. Saadhak with the judge. The ding got the bang, but Aspas with the save. Somehow, the first point of contact being Aspas with the Shorty. Comes in and still get the last kill, stays alive inside the A site, and it becomes a match point and series point here for Loud.
He does it all. 100 Thieves were ready to commit a showstopper to that round, and Aspas just does a quick dodge. Deletes one of the most impactful ultimates that we have right now in this game, and they continue to win the round on a thrifty. That is absurd. 100 Thieves dropping the ball on that one, and Loud just picking it up with a swish. This is going to be now round 24, game point for Loud. Split has been a plague for them, a thorn in their side. And now they look to capitalize on a win with 5 more kills.
And that's an operator in the hands of Aspas for this last round of regulation too. On an off angle on towards the A ramp, 100 Thieves looking to pressure back towards mid. Finding no information as of yet. Waiting for utility for tuyz to fall down from this Viper. We're trying to bait things out. The judge coming out from Saadhak into the B main. tuyz in an off angle on top of the boxes across as a flash blinds him. And off this ult, are we committing? No, not yet. The pressure's coming back towards the top B side.
Is it enough? Rope?
There's one on the ropes! And that's Saadhak falling down. Still gets a kill, the headshot, the bang. Traded back by Asuna. Now gets another kill through the cages.
4v3.
As the Seekers come out, yes, it's a 4v3. And the Opera's out there, but the corner's not checked. The spike is down. But we still have the res available for Cryocells. The fight's about to come across from aspas, but thankfully for 100 Thieves, they're looking to push us into overtime. The upshot misses, so we have the res. 26 seconds left onto the round, and this may be the clear now for the safe plan for 100 Thieves. Aspas looking for the hero play. No aura this time, it's all up to him. Flash to give his position away. The push shot from Asuna, 4K into the round. Wow! And we push this into the extra innings.
We are going a few more, ladies and gentlemen. 12 to 12 for 100 Thieves and Loud. 100 Thieves pick up Split right now, and they're looking to get this over to Haven, where both teams are 3-0. It's gonna take a hell of a few rounds from 100 Thieves here. This is where, like I said, you get Loud mad, you get Loud angry. Whew. You almost can't look at aspas, I'll turn you to stone. 100 Thieves with the timeout here. This means a lot. We talked about playoffs, Fancilly. They're right around the corner. Every win right now is so necessary. I mean, Loud would love it, but if you're not Loud, that every win is necessary.
Oh, yeah. Listen to the crowd. Behind 100 Thieves, timeout being called off the rip by Mike's to try to figure out what they could do here on the first round of overtime.
Man, if you're a player right now, I'm like, just get me back in. Get me back in there. Start the round.
The fans want it too.
Oh, yeah. Hit that button.
We're awake and ready.
That go button.
But look at all the faces from all of these players. Cool, calm. Not failing under the pressure at all.
Leaning back. Leaning back. Tuyz there. We're getting prepared. We are back on to Split for our overtime rounds. 400 Thieves, possible chance to pull this into a Haven in our best of 3. Different setup for Stellar's utility there towards A, and they're actually going to stack 3 on the site. This is different from 100 Thieves. They're going to go aggressive.
And remember, when we actually had the economy right, 400 Thieves on the defensive half, that's where they're able to make that comeback. This time around for the OT, you have all that weaponry available, but one player less already off the rip into this round as cauanzin gets the kill onto Asuna. Looking to react right away. Loud is taking control of towards the A ramp. 100 Thieves falling back for the defense, but not committed yet or Loud. We are playing the longer game into this round.
Yeah, Tuyz is over by Ramen right now. Hasn't really gained any ground, so they'll have to retake mid. 100 Thieves hasn't really checked too much either, so this is all up to reactive play right now.
Somehow off that beginning fight, cauanzin made it alive with only 1 HP.
Oh my gosh.
Gravity well to stop that push. The crossfire is being set up. Nebula to come out here on the top of the B heavens, trying to block the view, but 2 players fall down. Oh no, Cryocells had the wall up in his hands, but Star is there for the save.
Spike down, B.
Not long before, though, all the rest of Loud are moving in towards this B site. After they're pressured and broken down the walls of the defensive side of 100 Thieves on the B site. All up to Derrek on a 3 versus 1 clutch. The spike is planted safely, so Loud has to stay committed inside of this site, but they have all of the crossfires set up. The jump spot here, now spotted, Derrek couldn't get the kill. Forces out the grab well, and that allows aspas to get into a great position. And still gets the kill with the Blade Storm. Once again, Loud are back at series point.
And Mel talked a little bit about what we just saw on the desk. It was more towards A when she referenced it, the double duelist coming into an area. But you saw how quick Loud just took B Heaven with Raze and Jet. It was almost impossible to stop you. Anywhere those double duelists go, it is going to be Michael Bay explosive, okay? Real bad. So you got to get out of there, got to get safe. They come up big on that round. Now 1 away from taking this series with a 2-0. Loud with the operator on aspas here for overtime.
The glass cannon. Once again in that same position in that round 24 of regulation. Was checked before, this time from even a Trailblazer. To solidify that position, and that's a great hit from that Trailblazer to force out the early dash.
Even more, that's permanent damage there unless you can get the cauanzin because no armor. So aspas lower than he wants to be right now.
Recalled smoke. Less decide not to challenge it, fall back into the B site. 100 Thieves are still staying very quiet now.
Not ready yet.
See if they can blast into B heaven here with some utility. It looks like a fake back towards A in the end, though, Vans. They slow play this, but they got the numbers in their favor.
It's still going to be aspas towards the back of A heaven with that operator.
How can they block
Setting
him?
his sights here towards the boxes, and they block it with the nebula, but it still pushes in the front. Now with no dash, he cannot re-peek. 36 seconds left into the round. Aspas under heavy pressure out towards screens. Another op shot misses, but 100 Thieves have made it into the round, and the heal comes up once again as the plant comes down for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Aspas back to 100. That's a great call. They finally get him topped up, and the 5v5 begins.
Flooding up towards A heaven. Couple of sprays through the toxic screen, back and forth, flashes on both ends, but it's still 100 Thieves with the first blood, all thanks to Derrek. Aspas still under heavy pressure, cannot get any value out of this operator. As the players from Loud are looking for the timing, Bang gets the kill inside the smoke! Let it go! As tuyz is stuck in a 5 versus 1.
Oh my gosh.
Spotted, and now Bang comes in. A flawless round for 100 Thieves. The fans behind as they go into overtime too.
Really incredible way to source out Aspas on that, or even that spawn position. If it wasn't Aspas, they made him basically hatch that raise grenade. He was right on top of it when it went off. Down to 42 health before he even saw a member of 100 Thieves and required the heal. 100 Thieves had a really great strategy on that round to just get around and chip damage their opponents. Now back on defense, Loud to bring that attack pressure back into the map. Set up on their main kind of 1-3-1 right now towards mid. The majority of the time they've gone through vent on this strategy, but they'll meet Asuna and Cypher Trips here if they decide to go that way.
Flash then coming out on the attack. The slow orb not needed yet. The first one was a gravity well on the defense, placed up by Bang. So now we're just trying to make that noise, waste that utility early for Loud. Trailblazer to clear out towards the top of heaven. Even towards the back of the staircase to spawn.
tuyz can see the wall in B now. Breaks the wall B for added pressure, and the team knows where Sage is. I don't think they actually saw that was Bang, but Bang can be anywhere on Astra. So identifying the map right now for Loud.
That right here, 2 players holding under the vents. As the wall was broken, yes, they understand the pressure. So for 100 Thieves, they regain position back towards mid. But for Loud, grouping together, looking for a B side hit. Tailwind activated for Aspas. Pain shells coming in, and Bang gets hit through the smoke. Cryocells in the back of the site. Les watching that flank, but not watching for the second one. As Cryo is safe at least from the Nova Pulse. The head shoved it onto saadhak.
Cryo.
Under still heavy pressure. The smoke's about to dissipate. Still gets these 2 kills. Back to a 1v1. Cryocells at half HP. Aspas on a 1v1 right across the corner. And we're dancing and weaving, but it's still going to be Aspas.
Wow.
Once again, the heroic play from Loud. As it take the lead once again.
It looked like it came together there for 100 Thieves. Bang being able to get stars in there to help out Cryo on the back of the site. The rest of the team taking down their 1v1s or even multi-kills. And it's Aspas once again, 33 and 17. Les is 18 and 17 right behind him, so you can see this is Aspas's day right now. That hero aura is flexing. That aura where you can make your opponents move, use utility on you, or even call 2 members to have to guard you. Aspas has that kind of impact right now, and usually does from game to game. On 100 Thieves now to bring this one back in. It's Loud call the timeout. To get some words from Fraud, as Mike's HD has the same.
Yeah, and so far, as we were looking through the overtime rounds, not too much pressure coming out from the Thieves at the beginning towards the B site. More control towards mid. Some RAM control as well at the early rounds before. Is that going to be the call? Add that pressure there, trying to find where we could get the max value of potentially an operator coming out of Aspas once again. Because remember, the last time when they're on defense, 100 Thieves did a great job in terms of utility to block those line of sights so that Aspas cannot get those picks with that operator.
I think we see a little bit more of that. Right, you can't. The thing that's actually counters going fast is an operator. You hold a hard angle, you watch them swing around and shoot and leave, reposition and do it again. Aspas, we know, not repositioning very often. He'll take another peek, but yeah, he'll be doing that over and over.
Yeah, repositions it to the same spot for a
Same
kill.
spot, exactly. Exactly. It should have been a bingo slot.
And speaking of same spots, he's looking back into the control of the A ramp, this time not as aggressive as he was before. So nothing really changes early for Loud's positioning.
Gets away from the identification of the Trailblazer, too.
There's a lot of util being held and used actually on the A side.
Little help from cauanzin, guarding lights across the map to retake control of positions. Stellar's leaving the camera work right now, so we can see this is going to be a mid to B play overall unless something drastic happens and it's full through vents. Patient play by Cryo here. And they have had a hard time dislodging tuyz in this B site, whether he's playing up on the boxes in the corner or a crossfire with somebody. So we'll see how that goes too.
Saw that the Boombot's kissed up towards mid-ramp. Less hiding inside of this nebula. Spraying across.
Oh my gosh.
And saadhak onto the other one. This might be it right here for 100 Thieves as they're falling behind by 2 players into this round. 2 players now double peeking towards B main. The wall comes up. The star on the ground on the defense. The wall gets broken for saadhak to get the kill. It's all up to Cryocells inside B. The late support from Derrek out towards B main.
One enemy remaining. 30
Just like that,
left.
it has to be an ace clutch. And it's not going to happen. The